am doing an informal play test of 13th Age with my two friends. I'm sorry, Barry Shine. What's your name?
John Bagwell.
It's John Bagwell and Derwin Roberson. Say hello, Derwin.
Hey.
So we only over 2 years.
We are currently gaming Tales of the 13th Age in accordance with the organized play program that's come from Pelgrane Press for Tales of the 13th Age. This is incredibly informal. It's us going ahead and kicking the tires of the system and teaching ourselves how to play Tales of the 13th Age. Now, let's go ahead and have some introductions. First, we're going to go over to Derwin. Derwin, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character and his relationships?
He is Dirge, an escapee from the Hellfire Monastery on the run from their nefarious plots and deeds as he's trying to make his way in the world. He has a negative relationship with the Diabolist because the Hellfire Monastery is their intelligence division. When he left them, he sort of betrayed her, and she's not happy about that. There are many other things that we will get into in his background later on.
Very good.
That should not be revealed at this present time. He is positive with the Prince of Shadows, and the Prince of Shadows likes the fact that he causes much chaos, and they get along just fine. And he's conflicted with the Crusader because the Crusader likes the fact that he hates the Diabolist, but he doesn't quite know where he fits into his whole plans. So,
and also, perhaps this is just merely a suggestion that perhaps also the Crusader wants his power.
Maybe he does, but I have to get in line for that.
And he's also a patron of this most skilled of assassins.
That's right. So because he spent most of his life being an assassin for the Hellfire Monastery, I took 5 points in Hellfire Monastery Adept and all that entails.
Ooh.
Since he's left in, he's taken up a career of bounty hunting, so I put 2 points into bounty hunting. And he has 1 point as a rogue scholar as he's becoming to learn more about the arcane and mystical forbidden arts. And he's trying to find out, because it especially helps him when he's hunting down these mystical types.
Which is also it ties into today's venture, because we are doing the organized play adventure Crown of the Lich King.
Oh.
Yes. Now, let's go ahead and move over to John. Unfortunately, John doesn't have a... Barry, would you care to appear on cam? If not, don't worry about it. It's okay.
I have a face for radio. And you know it.
Yes, absolutely. But tell us a little bit about your character.
Right, Alwyn the Hobbit.
Yes, because in this setting, they're hobbits. Screw you, Tolkien estate. We love Tolkien, but they're hobbits, they have 11 Cs, they have second breakfasts, and they have fur on their feet.
And by screw you, he means he respectfully takes the right to call them halflings because he's at hobbits because he's not making any money off of this, so don't sue him.
That's right.
Please don't sue us. But if you do, sue him.
Yes. But go ahead, tell us about Alwyn.
Alwyn, yes, he was originally just a random gardener in the halfling country. Tolborough, I believe he called it.
Yes, Tolborough.
Yeah. So he's sort of Samwise Gamgee type. You know, doing gardens, growing a little kitchen garden type sort of thing.
Was he well known for his pipeweed?
No.
Aww.
That's a stereotype, man. Okay.
The Walter White of hobbits.
Maybe next game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he has got a background as a gardener, since he did it for the early part of his life, until he got a job working for this other hobbit. Which went well until one day he heard this weird sort of noise from inside the house, went in and saw the guy he was working for sort of passed out or dead or something. On the table in front of him was this big weird book. He had a look at it, and the next thing he knew, he was waking up on his back with the book gone, his employer still dead in the corner, and this maid just looking at him and then screaming. He got up, he ran like hell because dead guy, screaming woman, run.
Mm-hmm.
And he quickly learned, they were forming up a posse to hang him because he clearly tried to murder him.
Mm-hmm. Tried?
Well, yes, he was innocent, but the guy's still dead.
You don't remember, you read the book and you read a couple of sentences, you read something from it, and then you passed out. Who knows what might have happened?
I don't, but I didn't kill him.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Anyway, before he had to go on the run, he was your typical gardener type in rural, not England.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the time, well, that's what the Shire is, basically. Come on, it's rural England.
Yeah. You
So,
mean
yes.
not Hobbiton?
yeah. But he would be down the pub, a few songs, a bit of storytelling, so he had some experience as that. So as he went on the run, he sort of took to the life of a wandering bard,
Mm-hmm. So I'd like to
performing
ask.
in taverns and inns and...
So so his best background is well-traveled bard, correct?
Yes, I was
Which
getting
is
to that.
excellent. Which is an excellent background, which I like a lot.
Thank you. But as he was going, he kept thinking about the damn book
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to read more of it. So he started looking for it. That goes into his first icon thingy, which is conflicted with the Archmage, because the Archmage also wants a book, but also kind of wants to know what I read in it.
The Book of Deadly Secrets.
Yes. And I believe you mentioned something about us sending snippy letters to each other.
Yes, that more specifically ties into George's background, where where he gets love letters and other stuff from the Prince or Princess of Shadows, saying, "Oh, by the way, pass this on to Archie for me, please."
I thought that was
Oh, wait, so no, that's through you. I'm sorry, I stand
Yeah.
corrected.
So we kind of have this love-hate bickering over the book going on. And also, let's see, since I am annoying the hell out of the Archmage, the Shadow Prince is a bit positive with me.
Oh, was it? No, was it? It's you stealing stuff on the run and annoying the Archmage. It's a triple win.
Awesome.
It's full of win.
On the other hand, and rather worryingly, negative with the Emperor because the whole alleged murder.
What's interesting, the thing is that
Alleged.
what brings this up is that, like, why would the imperial authorities have interest in purely a local phenomenon? Maybe you read something in the book which, for the safety of the Empire, must remain secret.
Or the Archmage is just throwing their weight around.
Maybe
in the background.
Could
The
be.
Archmage is known to have a personal relationship with the Emperor. But the
Yeah.
thing, the Emperor, this has drawn the personal attention of the Dragon Throne, not just simply the Archmage going ahead and throwing his weight around. So, who knows what might be involved?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do you have any other relationships we should know about?
No, that's Shadow Prince, Archmage, Emperor. That's it.
Boy, you're in all sorts of trouble. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so today is the adventure that our two heroes will be on. Oh, and Darwin, describe how you both got involved with each other and how you met.
Okay, fine. I was going through one town. We have not really defined out the world here yet. Escron, I don't know, the city of Escron, and I saw he was one of many people on a wanted poster, and I was like, they were offering a lot of coin for this halfling. I thought it was very strange that they really were after this guy, so I went to find him. And through a long series of hilarious events that probably will be featured in a preview episode, he come to understand that he's not responsible for killing this person, and he's also looking for something he's very interested in. You know, this book of secrets, this book of the death, sounds very interesting, and it might pertain to my own situation. So, decided to not turn him in and stick with him for now to see, where this can lead. If it can lead me to the book.
By the way, folks, I'm going ahead and putting up into my lower third title a hashtag, 13th Age Lich Crown. If you happen to be watching this broadcast, and if you wish to go ahead and make commentary on it, or if you happen to watch it later after it's been recorded, and you wish to add commentary, just go onto Twitter or onto Google Plus and use this hashtag, and I will see it, and I will talk back at you. I may not be able to talk directly back at you during this broadcast because I am busy running a game. I am somewhat new to 13th Age, so therefore you're going to see us kind of stumble a little bit and learn 13th Age. But, however, we would love any feedback that you have. And by the way, please don't mind my message room behind me. So, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Moving on. The first session is called The Prisoner of Rochdale. Now, what happens? Arwen we're going to go ahead and open up the scene in Axis, which is the capital of the Dragon Empire.
Oh dear.
Axis, however, does have a very lively underground, kind of like, underground, underground criminal scene. And also, listen, man, you're just passing through. You're just like trying to keep your head down from the fuzz. You and Dirge are in the lower under half of the city. So you two, I assume that both of you are seeking out the Book of Deadly Secrets, and you've been helping out each other in various adventures. This halfling, Arwen, is a great frontman for you, Derwin, because what he can do for Dirge is that he can go ahead and check out marks. He can go ahead and make sure that, like, when people approach you for business, you're not getting ripped off. Both of you have a mutual interest in strange and occult lore.
Sure.
And you have had a number of adventures and fighting against various various minions of the Diabolist, who happens to have a particular thing against you, and some of her attention might be drawn over to your friend Aelwyn because of the fact that he's actually read from the Book of Deadly Secrets. And
lived.
Yes, and not only that, also agents of the Crusade. Well, the thing about the Crusader is that the Crusader occasionally hires you for jobs.
Okay.
Now, what happens is that a roast chicken is being brought over to your table. You guys, you've just gotten done with traveling. You're only going to stay here in the lower level, like in the slums of the city, only for a day or two, enough time to like get resupplied and such like this. Rumor about the book that you've heard is that one of the outlying libraries of Nexus might have some lore or information about a possible wizard, about a possible place where a book might appear. The thing about the Book of Deadly Secrets is that it appears in various places according to an astrological conjunction. In order to predict that, you might need to go ahead and meet with one of the astrologers out there. But this adventure's not about that. Because as you're going ahead and like taking out your knives and carving up the chicken to get served your ale and bread, along with the bill is a note. Hello, boys. Hello, boys? Good to see that you're enjoying that chicken that I just went ahead and cooked for you myself. You know who this is. If you two boys would like to earn some coin and get a couple of clues as to your current thing that's going on, I would like for you to go ahead and help me recover the crown of the Lich King.
Okay.
You both know who this is.
Yes, the Prince of Shadows.
Yes, and the thing is, a chicken. What is it? This is just after you both had like your first bites of this really good roast chicken.
And it's probably poison if we don't say yes.
Might be poison if we do say yes as well.
Maybe you just think it's poison. But it's generally a good idea to be on the Prince of Shadows side. And also, just like if the Prince of Shadows had you mess around with living emperors, mess around with undead emperors too. The note goes on to explain that the crown of the Lich King is not actually the crown that the Lich King currently wears. That's going to come a little bit later. But the crown that he or she wants you to go ahead and get your hands on, I mean, if you think you're good enough, if you're up to it, do it. And if you don't think you can do it, then that's fine. But you are being hired to steal a crown to the position of the Lich King. His Skull Fortress is located at the center of an ever-shifting maze, and that is where the crown is located. What you must do is that your first clue, in order to go ahead and track this thing down, is to rescue the only person to know the layout of the maze, an adventurer that went missing near Rochdale, a village in the Fangs. The Fangs is one of the areas that's on the 13th Age map. Don't worry about where it is in the map. We move at flat speed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, I'm sure that you boys can go ahead and handle the details. Have fun. I thought that this would be entertaining. Don't disappoint me. And then you see the kind of like the little symbol, along with like a kiss and lipstick. Of the symbol? What is it of the sigil of the Prince of Shadows?
Shadows.
Is it like two
Freddie Mercury,
or is it a heart?
Alright. Well, I guess we should look into this. You want to stay on his good side. Or her good side. It's the prince's good side. So
But we're finishing this chicken first.
Fine. What do you know? What do you know about? You ever heard of this Lich thing in your bardic travels?
The Lich King, I think.
Well,
that would be
everybody
more
knows who
common
the Lich.
knowledge.
Everybody knows who the Lich King is.
Oh, okay. He's one of the icons. Sorry.
Yes,
Lord
yes, the Lich King was the prior king of what is now known as the Dragon Empire.
Mhm.
But what was happening? Generally, the lore goes that the Wizard King, who was the king during the 12th Age, ruled the empire in a tyrannical way. It was, it was really horrible. And what happened is that the Elf King and the Elf Queen and dwarf, actually no, the Elf King from back then, and the Dwarf Queen got together and created actually literally created a new species, but they went too far.
Right. Okay.
The Orcs, I believe.
The Orc Lord, and the Orc Lord personally slew the Orc Lord personally slew the Wizard King, and the Wizard King became the Lich King.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dragon Emperor, who was involved in all that, and who led the armies which smashed the Wizard King's Golem armies, went ahead and united the Dragon Empire and brought peace to the land once again. As long as the dead are honored with the proper rites that must be performed every year at various locations, then the Lich King will never take his throne back. However, if the Lich King, if the proper rites aren't performed, then the Lich King will rise again. And what happens is that when people don't follow the appropriate rites and people disrespect the dead, the Lich King grows more powerful. The thing is, though, Barry, what I'd like for you to do, now the thing is that you don't have a camera right now, so I'm going to go ahead and make your roll for you. I'm going to go ahead and use the Dice Stream app to make a roll for you. Now, you would wish to go ahead and use Well-Traveled Bard for your background, correct?
Yep.
Okay, then. I'm going to go ahead and make a D20 roll for you. Now, what is your... this would be based on intelligence.
Ooh, 12.
Okay, so that's +1. Your second level, which makes it +2, plus your Well-Traveled Bard background, which is an additional +5, which makes it +7. So, we're going to go ahead and roll a D20 and add 7. Hold on, I'm doing this wrong. Roll. 18, 25. Oh, fantastic. Well, the thing about the Lich King is that is a crown which the Lich King actually wears that probably the Prince of Shadows is not talking about, but you have heard a recent story concerning concerning the crown of Baron Voss. Baron Voss is one of the minions of the Lich King, who was once a powerful and noble human lord, who became an undead. Nobody knows why, but he used to have like some impressive armies and such like this. And now he commands those armies in undeath. Whoever has that crown can control Baron Voss and thus control those armies. Obviously, if the Prince of Shadows wants that crown, well, who knows what the Prince of Shadows goes ahead and plots. Certainly, they're agents from the Dragon Empire, and a lot of other people that love to get their hands on this.
Yeah.
Especially the Diabolist.
Well, we can't have that, can we?
Fine, it's worth looking into.
Yeah, it also could just simply be the Prince of Shadows wanting to mess around, the Lich King.
Yep.
Well, it could be both.
It's a caper. Fine.
Yes, it is indeed a caper. Okay, give me just a moment.
No.
So where do we start looking for this thing then?
Well, remember according to what you were initially told in the letter.
You have to find this guy in.
Oh, if we have to find the guy who knows the layout, so we got to rescue this person.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You have to go through. There's a prison that you actually have to go to in what's called the Fangs, which is actually it should be on the map.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll roll up.
Unfortunately, I do not have.
That's fine. You can just describe it to us. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, but there's some people here who may be viewing the broadcast.
Okay. So we know who this person is. We have to find out who this person is.
Yeah. No, you already. Give me just a moment. On the map of the. on the map of the Dragon Empire. Yes, the Fangs is actually in the middle. It's if you go ahead and look at the actual map of the Dragon Empire. Actually, you guys are not in Axis. You're in Concord. Concord is the big multi-species city.
Okay.
And the Fangs are directly to the west. The Fangs have a whole bunch of rivers which go ahead and lead out into Fairwind Sound in the middle of the sea. But you should be able to get there with a couple days of riding.
All right. That sounds fine.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, and I will make a bounty hunt to run. I will roll under bounty hunt to see if I can locate this guy on the way, find information about him, what we could be walking into.
Sure, no problem. We'll go into Indiana Jones time a little bit.
Damn straight.
Okay.
So we head out on the next caravan or whatever.
Sure.
There's a red line following us.
What?
Well,
Yeah.
If you guys are willing to go ahead and blow 5 gold pieces apiece, then I will assume that you go ahead and get yourself some fresh Swift mounts.
Sure.
Okay.
And ride off into the sunset and for an adventure.
All right.
Because you know what time it is here, Derwin?
It's time for heroes.
It's time for heroes, man.
Alrighty.
There you go.
Said they got us.
Okay, but go ahead and make a roll for me. And this is, we're seeing a montage of scenes as the two of you are going ahead and working your streetwise contacts. It's like you're going on the trade road that leads from Nexus heading over into the Fangs.
Yeah.
What is it? It's you going ahead and passing coin, talking to your contacts, stuff like that.
What modifier am I using?
Okay, I'm gonna say charisma.
Nah, that's not a problem then. That's a +4 then.
Yeah, you're gonna have a somewhat lower target number because this is bounty hunter stuff.
Damn straight. Alright, so I'm rolling a d20 +4.
Sure.
Let's do this. Roll. Okay. And I got a... God damn it, that's...
No.
What's my language? Oh. Yeah, it's +4.
Did you include your attribute bonus?
Yes, +3, +1 from a level. It's +4.
Remember, you get plus your second level, so it's +2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So it's +5. So it's +3 for that, +2, and I'm sorry, and also for the 2 points of body, that's +7.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So what happens? Yeah, that's a total of 25. Both of you are doing really well.
Okay.
So you're going ahead and talking. You're going ahead and talking to this old fat madam who has one eye. That bastard. If you go ahead and if you find if you find Jaunt Urner. He's a half-orc treasure seeker. He specializes in newly risen living dungeons. He'd come here and go ahead and party with my girls all the time. I want the 500 gold piece that bastard owes me on his tab.
Okay, I'll bring him back to you if you want for a little cut of that.
I'll give you a cut of 10%.
All right.
Okay, done deal.
Yeah, that's the money.
Okay, so he explains to you that like I said, he's a half-orc treasure seeker. He specializes in newly risen living dungeons.
Yeah.
And it's one of the girls, she pokes her head in, and it's like, "Hey, Ma, don't forget to tell Cutie in the cloak over there that he had this always had this funky map on his back."
Really? On his back, literally tattooed into his skin?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we saw it all the time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You want to come spend some time here, Cutie?
No time.
Well, we got boys and girls.
I'm on duty. No time.
On duty. When you get back, spend some of that money here.
Sure.
So.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like it seems like your bounty hunter pal has a lead there, Aelwyn.
So Jaunt Urner.
Yes.
That is his name. Can we find out where he was last seen? Start going around and asking the local markets, where you would go to buy provisions for an adventure.
Right now, the scene is kind of floating along, you're talking to caravan people, passing through towns and such like this. You're not in any one fixed location. It's yes, and Barry, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and use well-traveled bard. Add your charisma. I will make a roll for you. I wish they had a way you could change the color on these dice.
We're gonna look into that.
Yeah. Okay, and Barry, what is your charisma?
16, so +3 bonus, +2, +5.
So hold on. +5 from your ability, which is well-traveled bard, and a total +5 from your level and your attribute. 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so So, what are you trying to find out? Anything specific?
Yeah, I'm hanging around in the pubs, the bars, the taverns.
Mm-hmm.
Being a bard,
Okay.
talking people up.
What specific thing are you trying to find out about Jornst? What is it about Jaunt Erner?
Basically, what he's been up to recently. If he's been in trouble, if he went on an adventure somewhere, maybe.
Okay. Okay, so you're going ahead and you're talking. What is it? You're talking to this really thin, kind of like scrawny looking Dragonborn.
Oh.
It's like like you're going ahead. You bought him a couple of drinks. You bought him some smoke sticks. Which is like what they their equivalent of like drinking booze.
Death sticks.
Yeah, would you like to buy some death sticks? No, but it's like as his tongue flickers out. Yes, I remember I got into a few Jaunt Erner's half orc. I got into a few card games with him. Unfortunately, you see, I don't do that kind of thing. I'm smarter than him because he's over in Rochdale. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely there.
Okay. Now, Barry, because this is one of the things I want to go ahead and demonstrate. One of the things which makes 13th Age unique. Your character. This is one of the things. Since you're investigating Rochdale, I'm going to give you a little bit of narrative control over it. Your character has heard of Rochdale. Maybe you've even been there. Why don't you tell me about it? As we have your character on the TV show have a little bit of an internal monologue. Like, oh yeah, Rochdale. I remember back when I visited, it was like.
Very easy to get people out of.
Nice try. No, I can't do it like that.
It's not the biggest prison in the country, but it is a fairly large one.
Sure.
Lots of guards, a fair bit of magic to stop people just escaping or teleporting out or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It's not like one of those pits where they just throw people and leave them to die. It's more. They've got an exercise yard, walled off and watched over.
Okay, so it actually does it resemble like back in the late 1800s they had in England this prison called Panopticon, where
Yes.
they designed it so that prison guards could look down and see everything down there while the actual prisoners were in kind of a maze.
Oh yes, let's go with that. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Real maze of a place.
Damn, the Prince of Shadows. The Prince of Shadows is sending you guys into the joint.
Yeah.
He or she is not making it easy on you.
Well, they wouldn't, would they? It's no fun. That one.
Not because you're both the best.
It's a prison, right? What do we care?
Yeah, a prison, which for both of you guys is a hotel.
Yeah, exactly. It's a vacation.
Yeah, how's the food? That kind of thing.
Oh, it's better on the weekends.
Okay, did you spend time in Rochdale?
That's a good point. Maybe you know something.
Even you guys spent time in the plane. Were you on lockdown?
I've sort of been avoiding that because I'd get handed over to the hobbits to.
Yeah, you have a negative relationship with the Dragon Emperor. Woo!
So I've been avoiding that sort of place really hard. So I don't want
So
to
you
end
have a
up.
history with that place, don't you? Woo-hoo-hoo.
Maybe.
They got you. So the thing is that even though maybe the Dragon Emperor is not after you for the murder, he might be after you for something else.
You had your destiny to break out of his escape-proof prison.
That's awesome. We're going to go with that. You broke out of his escape-proof prison. Okay,
Well,
so the thing about Rochdale, at least at one point, it was run by the Imperial government. It might not be run by the Imperial government now, but at least one point it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it still is. Who knows?
Okay.
So you certainly know where the place is. You will probably hope you never have to go back.
Yeah. But don't know the Prince of Shadows, so I guess I've got to.
You gonna go ahead and you gonna go ahead and pass this on to Dirge?
Well,
Oh yes. And
so what's your point? It's a prison. We just gotta break into. Yeah, prisons are easy to break into. It's getting out of this the hard part. It's not a problem.
Okay.
I've done that, but it's not exactly fun.
Well, we've come too far. We've spent all our money. Now it's this, or we find another job somewhere.
There you go. Okay, now Derwin, if you could
Besides,
please.
I've already taken the contract to get this guy, so I gotta bring him back to the madam. I took the contract.
All right, I got you back.
That's right. It's all about the contract.
That's
You can buy
right.
me dinner afterwards.
Okay, so
All
Derwin,
right.
Can Dirge please go ahead and make for me a roll of intelligence or
Mhm.
was it of intelligence or wisdom? Versus
Okay.
versus your what was it? What was your third background?
Rogue Scholar.
Go ahead and make go ahead and make a roll for me and let me know if you get better than the 15.
You're gonna have to roll that. So it's
Yeah.
going to be 2. So it's level plus modifier, right? So
Yes.
that's going to be a +5. +1 for the Rogue Scholar is +6.
Okay, 650. Wow, whammo! You just hit it.
All right.
Oh, you mean that fucking place that's guarded by demons?
Wait, what?
Ah, it
Oh.
gets better and
Yeah,
better.
the reason it's called the reason it's called the Rochdale prison. It's called the Panopticon is because it's like actually laid out in the form of a pentagram.
You snuck out of there? I'm impressed.
Yes, can we not go back? No, we have
I
to
don't
tell
think
me.
we have a choice.
Okay, so it's
Right.
not like you guys don't know where this joint is.
We just don't want to go there.
Well, that's how it's going to be.
Make it a big dinner
Fine.
with dessert.
Damn, was the last meal, huh?
Might
Okay.
be.
All right. So after you go ahead and have your last meal,
Does
yes.
this look like a 2-man job or what? Or do we need to like hire somebody else to
you
come?
might need to hire somebody.
Yeah. We're a little light.
It's,
We're a little
it's,
light
it's
in the
up,
firepower
it's
here.
up to you guys. It's up to you
Alright.
guys. It's like, well, the thing is that Barrett Aelwyn does have some healing powers, and he does dabble in magic.
Right.
He's pretty good in a fight.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well,
the
out
problem
of
with like,
character.
traditional adventurer types, like dudes in big armor and stuff like this, it might or might not be the right job.
Well, yeah, we need somebody. We need somebody stealthy. Okay, so I'm basically out of character. I'm asking: is this module possibly done with 2 players? Is it flexible enough, or does it recommend?
I will go ahead and modify some stuff. If you wanted to go ahead and get NPC help, I would not object.
Yeah, because that's the thing about modules. If they're written for 3 players, then it gets harsh with 2.
Yeah, it was written for 4 players of second level.
Whoa!
Well, the thing is, I can modify things like monster numbers and stuff like this. But
we're gonna hire at least 1 NPC then. Fine.
sure,
Yeah.
okay. So that means like in regards to loot and stuff like that. And also, not only that, I'm going to go ahead and also give you guys a couple of like consumables and stuff.
That's fine. So we'll sit around in the tavern and we'll.
Yeah. Well, what
We'll
happens?
have the Ocean's 11 montage, and we try to put together the heist. So we need. Well, we've got stealth taken care of. We've got magic taken care of. We need a big die, huh?
Well, no, you would be the hitter.
No, we need a strong guy. We don't have a strong guy. I don't have a strength, so if we need like bashing doors and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, also, if you guys want to go ahead, I will. If you want to go ahead and like purchase things like healing potions, to actually give some guidelines. A healing potion, I'm going to go ahead because like you guys are alone, or like if you guys are on your own.
Uh-huh.
I will let you go ahead and buy a healing potion for 25 gold pieces.
Yeah, I ain't got that.
I'm going to go ahead and buy a resistance potions.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and buy a resistance potion for 50 gold pieces, which gives you resist 16 plus against 1 damage type,
Remember,
which can include weapon damage.
He had 50 gold pieces before he bought his equipment, so
I've got
we can't
45
afford
gold
that.
left.
Yeah,
So
so we can't afford that. All right, so
maybe the healing potion.
Give me a second.
Or you could go ahead and hire somebody who's good at healing, like a cleric or a paladin.
Yeah, give me a
But
second.
then trying to talk, like if you're going to try to talk a cleric to help you sneak into a prison, they got to be kind of shady.
Yeah.
It's a cleric sneaking into a prison that's guarded by demons. He gets in there and gets to kill some of these demons and brings this place burning down to the ground. He might not be opposed to that. Or a paladin, even. But the problem with the paladin is a paladin
also
wouldn't be stealthy enough.
In my Dragon Empire, all the gods have their own holy warriors, so you can find paladins with beef god.
No, paladin is bad because they're kind of loud and clanky.
They're kind of loud. Rangers,
They're not about the whole sneaking around and stuff like that.
Some mercenary type person.
It's up to you.
You
know what I'll do? Was it in a little package? Was in a little package, and they look suspiciously like Red Bulls. The Princess Shadows, because she likes you or he likes you, gone ahead and given you 2 healing potions.
Okay.
And has gone ahead and given you 2 runes.
Okay, 1 healing potion each. One healing potion. And what's a rune do?
Okay, runes give you random effects.
Oh God.
Oh,
Actually,
that's gonna be fun.
Of course, that very, very Prince of Shadows.
Yes.
Of course.
Mm.
So
Yes.
one of those hits.
There's a little note saying, "Don't bitch, it's free."
Fine. All right. So.
But it's always a beneficial effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would be good? Well, we've got a bard, we've got a rogue. We're sneaking in a place like that. A fighter could always help. A stealthy fighter, a fighter thief. Yes, some out of character terms.
Yeah.
A stealthy.
You guys will be whispering at your table about it's like, well, we need somebody to help us out with this. In fact, if you could discuss it in character, I'd like that better.
Well, yeah, this job is a little. We're a little outnumbered for this. We'd have to do completely stealth. And the instant we get found out, we're dead. And then our next adventure is a prison break. So we're gonna need someone to help us with the heavy lifting, or someone that could back us up magically. One of those two would be great.
Mm-hmm.
We can find. Do you know anybody around here? You used to come from this area.
I kind of left in a pretty damn big hurry.
Did you meet anybody in the prison? Do you know in the prison anyone in the prison we could find that can help us out? Or do you know since you were in the prison already, do you know of any secret ways in and out?
Okay, that could perhaps be done. When you get to the prison, I will go ahead and let you make an appropriate roll.
Okay.
Aylwin, what you have? Well-traveled bard +5. What are your other backgrounds?
Toper, gardener, and lore of a book secrets.
Okay.
Words.
Nothing directly applicable, but I would let you make a well-traveled bard roll because it's like you were the one who provided
the info.
Was it more wholesome forms of entertainment?
Excuse me?
You ran stuff like some of the gambling stuff that went on in there, and amateur night.
Oh.
I get because they do that in real prisons, man. Because they're bored, they got nothing to do.
Yeah, I can see that. Right. So, do I know anyone there?
Go ahead and make a roll for me, I'll make a roll for you.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and I will add my. But the thing is, you know what? We're gonna make the roll when you get there.
Ah.
It's like Tony, how you doing?
All right, let's go for it then.
Yes.
Wait, how are we doing this? Just busting in, or?
No, we're gonna sneak in. We're not busting it anywhere.
What you're talking about right now is whether or not you need to hire somebody to help you out.
Yeah. All right. How are we getting in? My preference is to climb over the damn wall, or to go in through the sewers. I'm very fond of those two options. We can always disguise ourselves and go in that way too.
Sewers might be an option.
Okay. Is there anything living in the sewers that we should worry about?
Interesting. Maybe there is.
Might be,
Well, you do know that demons do patrol the outer. Do go ahead and patrol the outer walls, and there are such things like, like guards and crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they watch the walls, so that way it's not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
We could try disguise, but we are talking demons here.
The demons, so disguise is out. So we'll do the walls of the sewers. We'll go to sewers. The sewers is the best. How's your climbing? I'll look at Elwin like.
No.
Okay.
My climbing is no.
First of all, are you hiring extra help or not?
We won't hire the extra help. It won't be more complicated than it is.
Just the two of you doing the whole Fire from the Grey Master thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If we need to, we can just bust random people out and let them.
I'm very fond of that option. It's one of my favorite plans. Whenever I go into prison, is creating a prison break and letting them chase the other prisoners around while we in.
There you go.
I'm very fond of that.
Well, there is one certainly surefire way that you can get into the prison.
Oh, what's that? Get arrested? We're not doing that.
Yeah, turn yourself.
Well, we could.
No, because then we sit there and then we have no equipment and stuff. No, it's not. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Right, this is much more fun this way.
Okay. It's like, come on. I still want to have. I still have in my mind your characters in there yellow tunic, was it orange tunics and such like this.
Yeah, no. See that's very bad. Is in the first time you see characters to then change their outfits, people don't like that. It destroys the characters.
That is true. Oh, by the way, go to Derwin, where's your website?
BlueHanzosDojo.net.
Yes, BlueHanzosDojo.net. Derwin draws excellent fantasy art. Go ahead and pay him monies.
That's my job, professional artist.
You get to go ahead and draw your player character. In fact, Derwin, it's like not a requirement. One thing you might want to think about is that, like, if you're bored, you might want to go ahead and make a quick sketch of like 2 characters.
Sure. I mean, not this week because I'm getting ready for the convention. So yeah, and it's bluehanzosdojo.blogspot.com. But like after this week, after the convention next Saturday, then I'll have a little bit of free time, so I can do that.
Okay. All right. So moving on.
So yeah, we'll head there and we'll sneak in.
All right. So as you approach Roachdale,
under the cover of night.
Under the cover of night, as you're coming up to the tree line, you see an octagon-shaped, imposing. Was it something a little bit like the modern-day Pentagon, except it's an octagon? You see towers. As you see moving in patrol patterns. Was it demons going ahead and moving in patrol patterns as you approach the place? It's almost like it stinks of the same kind of smell that you would associate. Actually, it's actually a very familiar smell to you, Dirge. Back when you were but a novice at the Hellfire Monastery. And the Hellfire monks Hellfire monks would work their unholy rites.
Yeah.
But always the Hellfire monks never worshipped demons. The Hellfire monks commanded them.
Yeah. Demons.
Yes.
This is gonna be fun.
Okay. All right. Now the type of demons that seem to be patrolling this. Was it seem to be battling little balls of chaos or a taste of torture other demons would choose to slay, and demons that resemble not so much as like piles of sludge. Now I want rolls out of both of you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make 2 rolls. Derwin, you're going to be making your roll against that special arcane lore skill background that you have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So it's just 1. So.
Yeah. So it's going to be against intelligence.
Okay, so that's going to be 4. So.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to do that first. Okay, 12. The first ones. They're imps.
Okay.
They shape change a little bit. They're like some of them are composed of flies. Other of them, look like the traditional little Beelzebub nose, like little evil imp things.
Right.
And the others, basically look like big piles of crap, sludging around. Barry, I'd like for you to make a roll. Well, I'll make another roll for you. Ooh, a 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is like one of the passages that you read from the book of what was it from the book of Deadly Secrets. These demons are called dretches. Whenever a demon is killed and eaten in the abyss, it passes out of its devourer as a dretch. A dretch is a miserable and frightened creep. Its black-hearted fear is so great that it's virtually contagious.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. So there is an entrance that looks like it's a graded. It looks like it's a graded entryway that will go ahead into the that will bring you into the sewer system that is within the prison. But however, you're going to have these things are kind of like, it makes sense for craft demons to go ahead and be nearby the festering stream, which goes ahead and carries sewage out of the prison. So they're kind of in the way of the entrance that you need.
Okay, so we'll try to see this. What was it?
So you're going to have to decide how you're going to deal with that. Now the thing is that there is also a metal grate.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How big?
Does the grate have a lock on it, or can we see if there's a lock on it from here, or would it have to be pried open?
It has to be pried open.
Okay, it's not going to happen. So we're going over the wall.
How big is it?
Huh?
The grate. How big is it? How thick of a bars?
It's about, I would say, about 7. Was it 7? Like 7 by 7. It's pretty. It's big enough for a man.
How big are the gaps in the grate?
Go ahead and make
a halfling.
Okay, do you have a skill? Now I'm going to demonstrate for everybody here failing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Or yes, but. what skill do you wish? What background do you wish to apply for this? You know, because you have well-traveled bard, you have.
I'm just asking if I can get in through a crack in the gate.
Man, that might work. What skill? What background are you using?
I don't really have one.
You could just try.
What backgrounds do you have?
Yeah. Also, maybe you could just try an attribute roll. You could just like try to see if Lady Luck helps you out.
Yeah. I mean, Dex would probably work.
Now, what's going to happen once you get through the gate? What's going to happen then?
That's a problem, yeah. So
Yeah.
I can't really let you in.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no lock on the gate. It has to be pried open.
Yeah, we need
That's
to.
why. Right. If
Okay.
there was a door nearby, then you'd have to sneak and then open the door from the inside. It should be on your own side there.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what
maybe a
happens
big
is
guy.
that as you're observing them from hiding, the demons are kind of like chattering each other, like kind of shrugging and such like this, because you do know that like one source of demons are actually evil, vile human souls that fall down into the abyss.
Yeah.
You know, so some of them can kind of be reasoned with.
Mm-hmm. No, I say we just sneak past. We can sneak past them and go over the wall instead of the sewers then.
Okay.
Yeah. This is what I meant by when I was in town, like we need a strong person to do stuff like that, to pry open gates and break open doors and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
where we go?
So, or we could go back and hire a strong man.
Yes, but the thing is that you're already here. It would...
All right, let's go then.
Yeah.
All right, so unless you have a better idea, what do you have in the way of magic?
Well, one of the things that you see, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm using up the second success that Barry rolled with the Prince of Shadows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You notice, like in the pack that has wizard that had like the 2 healing potions and the runes, are pair of old worn dice. You know, really crappy wooden dice. You know, just doesn't seem like they're weird or magic or anything. But one thing that you see, that the dretches specifically are doing is that they're taking like rocks and putting them in a cup, shake, shake, shake up against the wall.
Yeah, if we give them the dice, they'll be nice and distracted.
Or like at least you might be able to gamble with them.
True that. That's one way to go if you want to gamble with them, and if we win, they let us in. So.
Yeah, I think we can trust them though. I mean, they're demons.
Are they demons or devils?
They're demons.
Okay,
And
demons
they're
are.
probably being forced to act as guards according to some sort of binding.
Yeah, nah, I don't trust.
Or you could just go and kill them. They're low-ranking demons.
All right, we gotta go and kill them. Make sure they're all dead. We gotta make sure that none escape.
Mm-hmm. So you're just gonna go ahead and charge them?
Wait.
No, I'm gonna sneak up on them. I'm gonna get myself in a position, and I'm gonna kill them.
Hang on.
Let me describe the scene.
Kill
What's
them.
up?
Let
What?
me describe the scene.
Wait,
Even if we do kill them though, are we going to be able to get in anyway?
we climb over the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do it quickly enough, then like the people at the other guard towers might not notice you.
Alright, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let me go ahead and describe the scene.
Yeah.
It is, what is it? There's a thin quarter moon, so there is some light to see by, but it's somewhat shadowy.
Like I care.
Yes. Now this is 13th Age. 13th Age doesn't really deal with lighting like some other versions of D&D does. So
Well, yeah.
the most I might do is like if it's really dark or gloomy, give you guys a negative. If you're able to go ahead and use shadows to your advantage, give you a bonus to certain rolls, that kind of thing.
Hold on, actually, let me look up what elves do. Elves get some kind of dark vision or not?
I don't think anybody gets any kind of dark vision.
Alright.
That was one thing that was conspicuously missing.
Well, yeah, it creates problems.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me just make sure. But then again, if elves have dark vision, I'm pretty sure demons would have dark vision too.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Or they give off their own light. So
Maybe.
Right, so
No, these are things like if you successfully make certain background rolls or
Sure,
like
you find out.
Points,
yeah,
like it might actually happen.
yeah, fair enough. I'm still not. Yeah, this book needs to be laid out better.
By the way, gamers for life, yo.
What? This game was for life.
No, gamers for life. Mountain Dew.
Oh
We
wow,
don't even have that over here.
that's too much sugar for me. Thank you very much.
That is.
That's why so many gamers have diabetes.
Mhm.
American games for life, you mean?
Oh,
Listen,
you don't get Mountain Dew in
listen.
wherever you are.
Barry, I don't want to hear about it. Your people, listen, you like all you people over in the British Isles. You people invented Buckfast, okay? I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Buckfast is like this fortified wine that has like 13% alcohol, and it turns college students into alcoholics. It's really bad.
Wow. Okay then.
Yeah, just go ahead. Just do his web search on Buckfast.
All right. So yeah, there's no dark vision there. So continue. So you said it's a
No.
it's a light
The
moonlight.
way I'm setting the scene is that I will say that because it's there are clouds. It's like a there's a room. There's a little bit of light. There's enough to see by. You're not going to have to worry about tripping, but
Right.
it is kind of dark and shadowy. And,
Alright.
and people who have light creating powers can go ahead and get rid of some of these penalties. But I will say that there's a +2 bonus to like anything that's like stealthy or sneaky.
Sweet. That works.
And there's a -2 roll to anything involving perception because it's dark, it's gloomy.
Sure. Not a problem.
Good.
Okay. So, this is our very first time running a 13th Age combat.
Mhm.
Now, as you approach, tell me how you're going to go ahead and try to set this up. I would say that there's a wide open grassy plain of, let's say, maybe about 30 yards. There's this grate. The wall is about 12 feet high. The demons are kind of like making, they're kind of like making a loop around a certain, like it's about 50 feet on either side. They're responsible for watching.
Okay.
Worth with the wall. At the edges of each section is a tower, which presumably has guards of either human or demonic nature going ahead and watching. So,
Okay.
what do you want to do?
I am going to pull out of my pack a little bit of theatrical license from my background of Hellfire Monastery, as I always carry a bit of brimstone around with me. And I'm going to rub the brimstone over my exposed skin, making me smell more like the demons. And I offer some to my companion here. It smells bad, but it'll help out. And because it's a slightly moonless night, as you said, I'm going to time it so that as the shadows go past the moon, the clouds go past the moon, they leave the shadow. We're going to creep inside the shadow of the clouds.
Oh, so you're going to trap the shadow of the clouds. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I really like that. Okay, so what I will do is that between all that nonsense, I will say that it's good for a +2 that justifies the +2.
Okay.
The +2 bonus to like stealthy maneuver rolls.
That works.
And what's going to happen is that it's also going to influence certain social, like if you make a social roll against the demons when you talk with them.
Mm-hmm.
Talk
with them.
Or smell with them, or perception rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the way we're going to do that is that it's going to be both of you go ahead and take a +2.
Okay.
To your stealthy stuff.
All right.
Now I will say Barry, 1/2 of the value of a well-traveled bard will apply to this, because as a bard you've had to go ahead and occasionally engage in some larcenous stuff, sneaking around, stuff like this. You're not a professional super sneaker like him, but you can get by. So I will round that down. I will say that I will count +2 from your well-traveled bard background towards the roll.
Okay.
So for you it will be +2 from well-traveled bard. What's your dexterity?
18.
18, so +4 makes +6, and plus your level was +2. That gives you a total of +8. Duran, what's your? You know how to do your whole entire bonus from your.
It's going to be my dex plus that. It's going to be 5 +4. Yeah.
And plus your plus the +2 bonus I'm gonna give you.
It's +11.
Okay, so Barry, you're running at +8. Derwin, you're running at +11.
Yep.
Okay, first roll is Barry. And second roll is you, Derwin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. What's happening is that you see their patrol patterns and such like this, and you're looking at the way that you're waiting until the they're dispersed widely, and then you see when the shadow goes ahead and passes over the moon.
Yeah.
You go.
Yep.
And we have we have you both running, and of course, because Bones is animating this episode, it's like you're both running through the grass and such like this. Between that and between the fact that you smell like demons, you get to the grate.
All right.
So you have just only a couple minutes before they loop back around and they see you.
Not a problem.
Right.
So,
all right.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, I got a rope and I can't climb very well.
Okay.
I asked you before wait. Okay, so we get to the grade. He says, "Well, I don't really climb the wall." I look at him. I asked you back in time how was your climbing. You didn't answer me.
I said no. My climbing is no. It doesn't.
Oh.
I can get up a rope. I can give you a rope. You go up. I climb up the rope.
Fine. Give me the rope.
Oh, by the way, Barry.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason I call John Barry is because he's DJ Barry Shine at Subspace Radio. If you want to listen to the best streaming internet radio station on the web, go to www.subspace-radio.net after this hangout, and you can go ahead and listen to some of the best DJs who support the MMO Star Trek Online.
How long are we going to go till, by the way?
I was thinking until like about 9.
I can't do that much longer.
Okay, so what we'll do is that we'll resolve this scene. You know,
Yes.
we might be able to pass by without a fight.
Yeah.
If we resolve this scene, then we'll go ahead and we'll leave it there.
So, do we kill these demons? So, I thought the intention was to get here and kill these demons. That's
No,
what I
your
was thinking.
intention is to get here and get the guy out who has the map on his back and then the
I'm
cross.
talking right now. Okay, right now.
Yeah,
All right.
so
Let's
killing
get
demons
the
is
wall. Let's
entirely secondary.
Let's get up the wall then. Fine. I will give me the rope. I will climb up the wall, and we're gonna do this quick.
Okay.
Huh?
Now,
Wait. Actually, I checked the grate. Is there any way we could? Is it like weakened around the edges? Can we like?
it's kind of rusty, so maybe you could go ahead and like like you've had to do stuff like this before.
Yeah.
If you're going to go ahead and make a what is it? An acolyte of the was it acolyte of the what is it?
Hellfire Monastery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because one of the tests before you underwent the ritual was that they put you into the labyrinth of fire.
All right. Fine.
You remember the whole Shaolin Monastery test?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Also, I have Shadow Walk too. Well, I can use that. If he can slip through, I can get through using a bit of creative license and stuff like that. I can step through the shadows to the other side. I forgot I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I will still tie that to an ability to.
That's fine. The ability check. Yeah, I will use that to shadow jaunt through the nether realm.
Ooh, the Neverrealm when
I
they
step through. Yeah, because rogues have.
when they taught you the fire shadow step.
That's right, because rogues literally in this game have the ability. You can take it where you disappear, and then you can reappear at the beginning of your next turn anywhere that you could reach reasonably.
Now, what are you going to do about your pot-bellied friend?
Well, he already said he could try to slip through.
Okay, yeah, all right, let's do that then.
So, you know how it works. If they can get their head through, they can get the rest of the body through.
Because they're like rats. Oh man, we're dogging on Papa.
No, I was thinking cats, not rats. So.
No, seriously, like in nature, if you can go ahead, if a rat has the size of a quarter, they can get their whole entire body through.
Whole body through, and cats, if they can get their head through it, they can get the rest of their body through it. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
This is why I don't play halflings. The short jokes never stop.
Okay, so Aelwyn, what background are you going to try to apply towards this?
Oh. I think I might just try straight up Dex. To be
I
honest.
would say well-traveled bard. You've had to sneak out of some places.
I will let you do another half,
Yeah.
like well-traveled bard thing, because yes, you've like what is it the time like when was it the time when like when the Elf Queen's daughter tied you up?
That was fun.
Mm-hmm. She
Well,
still
unfortunately, the guards came and I had to run.
She still sends you letters. She wants you to know when you're coming back.
Ah, cool.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and so that's gonna be 1d20 plus Dex plus level. You have a Dex of 18. That's gonna be plus 4. Level makes it plus 2 for initial plus 6, and plus 2 for well-traveled bard. It's gonna be another plus 8. So d20 plus 8. 16 plus 8 is 24. Well, guess what? Lucky for you, one of the bars was gone.
There you
Oh,
go.
thank goodness.
Like just like a cat. Once he goes ahead and gets his head in,
He gets the rest of his body through.
wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. And congratulations, you go sploosh into like this stream of like nasty water and shit.
You already smell like brimstone. How much worse can it get?
Yes. Now you smell like shit. Okay, Darwin, your turn.
Yeah. I am going to use the Hellfire Monastery Adept, and I'm going to try to commune and step through the shadows to the other side of the grate.
Ooh, shit. Okay, so same thing. It's gonna be plus Dex.
All right, that's going to be 11 again.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mhm.
Okay, 24.
All right. So as I stand there, he puts his hands into a hand sign position. He starts to concentrate, and just as the moon's about to pass over, he's going to run into the shadows. The actual darkness itself coalesces around him into a small ember of black flame, and he vanishes, and then reappears inside.
And we have as part of the background, like, you know how, like, a campfire, like, you see the embers? And
Yeah.
And, like, you know, like...
But more disturbingly, what Dirge can't see is the image of that demon that I forgot his name. Shalmashan appear behind, like, yes. Use that power. Use it well.
Yes. Okay, very good. So you're also now, as opposed to poor Aelwyn, who is like chin deep in shitty water.
Yeah,
you're only waist deep in shitty water.
Yeah, I'm waist deep? Okay, fine.
Yeah. You might want to carry him on your back or something.
Please.
No. I can't. I put him on my...
What?
You're
gonna make your Hobbit bro swim through the shitty water.
Look, you remember World of Warcraft, and you remember that dungeon where if the halfling sat down to drink water, they would drown. Yes.
Come on, man. Come on.
I put them on my shoulder. Fine. I carry them on my shoulder.
Right. Good.
Just don't light a torch.
Oh, yeah.
It would be very, very, very bad.
I don't even have one, so that's fine.
I have a torch. I always carry a torch. How have you lived this long in the adventuring world?
Pure luck.
All right,
okay.
Let's continue.
So what happens is that you go, like, what happens is that it seems like the water's being pumped out. As first you go up, the grade goes up, and then it starts sloping down.
Right.
And you actually see a sluice in which water, like pipes, in which water is actually being pumped up.
Okay.
The sloping down passageway leads down for what seems to be hundreds of feet when the passageway splits into two passageways, each of which splits into a maze-like dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the last time you were here, Barry, describe to me an obstacle that you encountered but defeated down here.
Oh. Good question. Right, well, assuming the chin-high crap...
You're making your escape.
Well, let's see. There's stuff down here that eats the crap, because, let's face it, something eats everything, eventually. I mean, for me, it wasn't that big. It was just this giant, same size as me, rat type deal.
Okay.
But there's probably other stuff lurking down here eating their own crap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do that for me again, because I'm checking something out.
Let me do that again.
No, I mean, repeat that for me, please.
Right, so I came out this way.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from the chin-deep waste I'd wade through, there was stuff down here having a meal on the waste.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So what was the stuff having meals?
Well, what I ran into was this massive rat, you know, sort of nearly the same size as me.
The king rat?
Oh, the Rat King.
Yeah.
So more sort of ran away from than beat, but I got us out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That means we're going to have to get past it now to get in.
Did I just kill us?
Mm-hmm. Now, Derwin,
these are things that I asked you about.
They're just
and you don't tell us.
It's been a while.
What did you say now? What were you saying?
Okay. Now, you've never been here before, have you?
No.
Okay, so you don't have any sort of tale about how you went ahead and escaped from the dungeon because, well,
no.
It's like you usually get out of prison, so you don't go in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me about, so now you remember the giant, I say that cat, now you remember the giant rat monster?
Do you remember everything that's tried to kill you?
Yes, as I start pulling my weapons out and looking around.
Okay, well, it's kind of interesting because as you're going ahead and telling the story of, of the king rat, you hear a hissing, and it's like, Aelwyn, you left a part out. As you turn around and you see this gigantic 10-foot-tall rat, with like beady red eyes, like hovering above the two of you, along with like a whole bunch of like little ratlings all over its body, and we cut the scene.
All right.
and you'll go into a combat right next week.
All right, cool. That's
Yeah.
fun. That's
Okay,
like a little cliffhanger. That was fun.
all right, yeah. So and we're ending earlier than I thought we would, but the thing is that I didn't want to go fully into a combat without like you guys being prepared and ready.
And we might have more people show up next week, so
That's true.
Maybe.
put the word out.
Let's go ahead and make some observations about this.
Sure.
One of the things that I noticed is that it's very loosey-goosey in regards to narrative. Like, they really encourage you to make stuff up on the spot.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
A traditional D&D adventure would have had everything all mapped out, would have had, like, all the squares, would have had, like, roll into some counter tables, so you have X, Y, Z skeletons show up. Here, like, for example, they gave, like, the thing about the demons at the front, they gave stats for them.
Yeah.
But then they had this whole thing about how, like, described how you escaped. It was a little weird. I'm finding that, like, it's a little weird for me to get used to, but on the other hand, I really love the whole riffing aspect of it. We're talking about how, like, like, making up stuff about our characters' past and such like this.
It's a very story-driven game, and I like that. It's different than D&D. Remember, the thing about D&D is it's evolved into a game that's designed to be played at tournaments and conventions. And when you're having strangers, it takes a lot of trust to be able to trust people to come up with stuff. You know?
Well, what's interesting about this game is that this game is also designed to be played at
I know, but
at convention.
I guess they trust. I mean, these guys trust people more than the original designers of D&D did. I mean, but we're having a pretty good experience with this, but I can just as easily and you, Chris, we both have played with people that would turn this experience into a nightmare.
Well, that's true. That's true. But the thing is that one of the nice things I like about 13th Age is that if you find somebody who is going to try to be a dick like that, the way that the game rules work for this is that it will immediately become apparent. That
it's like right there that they're trying to get over and they're trying to.
Yeah, because my personal opinion is that all role-playing games are shared narratives, and like when you get into these games that are really heavily are really rules crunchy. Let's say, for example, like Pathfinder, what they're doing is that they're using these mathematical structures to justify various narratives.
They're trying to avoid arguments. That's what they're really doing.
What Hindsu and Tweet are doing is that they're saying, okay, we'll still have a math layer here, but it's really what it's about is the narrative.
That's fine.
So, and don't be afraid to go ahead and be crazy and make stuff up. And I think there are some groups that, like, have you ever run into that like kind of D&D group? Oh, well, we only use half the rules, and we've had like whole game sessions.
Yes, and I hate that so much.
Well, this is the game for them.
It is. It is
the game for them because, really, if you could play 13th Age in such a way that really the combat's secondary. Although what's going to happen is that, like I said, I think they designed the first encounter here where they presume that the characters were just going to go ahead and charge in and fight the demons.
Well, just generally, this is a good way. I mean, that's generally in most groups too. You know, it's always somebody thinks outside about. I mean, but yeah, your observations are correct. And yes, I always the vast majority of D&D games I've been in have been people going. They take rules they like, stuff like that. And I tell people all the time is that when you play Dungeons and Dragons, you know, it's like people don't follow the rules so that one person plays a rogue. And he he screws everything up because to play a rogue, you have to know the rules and you have to learn the rules. So now you've got one guy following the rules and using the rules, and everybody else going so that's what happens.
and then what happens is that you kind of get into like a rules kind of like it snowballs.
Because one of the things that always irks me going into that is that whenever people only using half the rules, usually the rules they like to leave out are the ones involving rogue sneak attacking. That's the most problematic thing you find in D&D.
That's your hill to die on, my friend. Because
True. No. How those monks feel again? How you liking those monks again? No?
All I know is that I'm not letting that fighter steal my shit. He ain't gonna do to me what he did to the barbarian, man. I saw what happened. I saw the poor barbarian all lying there, all beaten up in the gutter. He ain't touching me.
Well, like I said, this game is very. I don't see it's loosey goosey. It's very story driven. It's telling you this straight up. It's saying, "Hi, this is a narrative based game."
And the actual, I will say that we didn't get a chance to see it tonight, but the actual combat engine is actually classic D20. The way that it has opportunity attacks, it has the way that the initiative work. It's an OGL game. It has to work like that.
That's fine. As long as you have that, because the problem is people go into D&D and they think that it isn't this very structured game, and they it is.
What it is that it's D&D with a haircut, I think.
Well, it's different. Like I said, it's different.
Yeah.
It's like I like the fact that people don't put this into the whole edition war thing, which is cool. It's its own animal. It's off to the side. It's doing its own thing. And like I said, I repeat that a lot of the things they do in D&D for the rule structure is they're really just trying to avoid 2 hour long arguments. We've all been there.
Yeah, and another thing is that the various iterations of D&D, Pathfinder, 4th edition, all those guys
Yeah.
are all designed for organized play.
Yes,
And
exactly.
in organized play, you have to make it absolutely crystal clear how things work.
That's
Like
right.
the gathering, and when you have it super duper clear like that, then what'll happen is that because of the transparency, one of the unfortunate side effects of that is that people will optimize around it.
Yeah.
See, another of one of my opinions about
Mhm.
all role-playing games is that people don't optimize towards a rule set. People optimize towards campaigns and their game.
That's true. That's the smart way to do it. Yeah.
And what'll happen is that if you're one of these gamers that like you for whatever reason can't arrange a home campaign and you have to go to organized play, which a lot of gamers have to,
Yeah.
then you're going to go ahead and optimize towards the way that your organized play venue works.
That's right.
Like for example, Pathfinder. Barry, back me up on this, but in Pathfinder, like certain summoner builds absolutely are not allowed because
Straight up banned.
yeah, they don't work for organized play.
Yeah, they're way too powerful. So yeah.
I mean, Barry, what observations do you have in regards to this? What do you
It's
think?
a lot more story than normal D&D. It's
A lot more what?
Well, normal
breaking
Dungeons
up.
and Dragons. Oh, sorry, am I?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Now you're fine.
Alright. So I was looking at my internet there. But yeah, normal D&D, it's reactive play.
Mhm.
This is more proactive. You end up setting up your own troubles to
Mhm.
deal
I
with.
love that. I really
Oh, yeah.
dig it.
It's very
Yes.
exalted.
Like, I don't really need to create challenges for you guys. I notice that, like, I would just prod you a little bit, and it's like, oh yeah, and like the Archmage is after me, and it's like the Halfling
Yeah.
Posse, and all this stuff.
It's a different animal. It's a different animal.
Yes, it is.
Far more interactive with the game than D&D.
Right.
Mhm. Okay, now we know over in the IRC channel for Subspace Radio that we have a small little channel that's been set aside privately for discussion of like Pathfinder and other D&D variants. How would you explain this to our good friend DJ Consentus, who's a big Pathfinder fan? How would you or to people like Rose and Jess and our friends who play Pathfinder?
Well, I'd say it's a much more simplified version of the rules, but much more based on story.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the story.
Would you recommend it to them, or do you think that this might not have stuff that they would find interesting?
Yes, but they would need a minute or two to get used to the new storytelling bit of it. When I had to get used to that.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I just had to get my head used to it.
Sure.
First.
What issues do you have with it, if any?
No issues so far. It's just unfamiliar to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because what I designed for today's session, I wanted to keep it as close to the rules as written as possible, and I also wanted to go ahead and go nice and slow and keep it just D20 rolls using the backgrounds. I love the backgrounds. The backgrounds are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I love how like the way that the backgrounds, the icon system, and the one unique thing all interact in like kind of this like iron triangle where like they all riff off each other and they all build off each other. And I could just run a game using just the backgrounds.
Like I said, it all depends. It depends on your group because the thing about these kind of games is if you have people who are down, who are willing, it's gonna go great. But if you got somebody who's just going, you got people who are just gonna try to get over, it's all about the gentleman's agreement. If everybody's on board, you're gonna have fun with this. And it's just like in any game. It's like when you're doing MMOs and you're in a guild. If everyone knows and trusts each other, you can do loot council. You decide who gets the best gear that's gonna make the best use of it. When you don't trust everybody, then you have to use a loot system called DKP and stuff like that. That's basically what it is. And this game depends a lot on that, And I do like the fact that yes, you're right. They're basically saying this is designed for organized play, and they're basically saying we're gonna trust people. We're gonna trust because I would be the first one to go. I mean, because this came up in a playtest that I cannot mention that I was involved in, and the game used this exact same background system, and we all said, "Oh hell no!" And it lasted like one playtest patch, and they
Yep.
got rid of the system.
Yep. I remember when you told me that.
Because people just right away were just like trying to get over something, and that's the main thing. But also, it's a social problem, and I've always said game mechanics should not try to solve a social problem.
That is correct.
And like you said, if somebody's just going to rake you over the coals like that and try to get over, you can see it pretty apparently, and then you have to choose to go, well, this person does not have to play with this group or stuff like that, or maybe this group is not for me.
Well, one of the things that I I asked you guys at the beginning was, what do you want to get out of it? And I think one of the things that Heinsoon tweet when they designed this game, I asked, what do you want to get out of it? And things like what unique thing and the backgrounds do, the icons, is that it's a way of getting out of players what they really want.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of arguments I think that occur in the fantasy role-playing games, in all role-playing games, is misunderstandings as to what they want. Because the thing is that players who play traditional D&D, they want to be badasses. They want to be heroes. They want to be the guy who stands in the dragonfire holding a shield and defending the innocent person or whatever. And the thing is that the game master also wants to see certain types of fiction. Like they want to see like like a scene kind of like the Helm's Deep scene from the Peter movie.
Some game masters, some people.
Yeah, other game masters want to see this like really kind of down and dirty puzzle solving, resources management minigame. And
everybody's got to decide at the end. You can't mix and match.
Yes. You can, but you've got to go ahead and be transparent about it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, and the thing is that if you go ahead and have these conversations at the beginning, you see what sometimes gets interpreted by gamers as like, oh, he's just being a dick. What it really is that like, well, I don't want the game to be about this. I want the game to be about that. And when people go ahead and argue over edition wars, when you get past the tribalism and stuff like this, I think really more what they're talking about is that, well, I'm afraid that if like this rule set gets implemented as the default rule set straight from WotC down on high, then games are going to be about this as opposed to about that.
You nailed it exactly. That's exactly what it comes down to, because people are so. It's like some people see Dungeons and going into Dungeons and Dragons. Some people see Dungeons and Dragons as this generic fantasy game that you can tweak to make what you want out of it. Yeah. Some people see it as it has to be this specific kind of fantasy. Hence the whole I don't want this in my game. It always amazes me. I don't like monks and ninjas in my game because I don't want the Asian in there. Yes. So what's with the scimitars? What's with the scale melding? You don't want the Asian, right? Get that out of there.
Yeah. There's some people who are like, and this doesn't make them like bad gamers, but what happens is you do have some people who like get their inspiration from like the Peter Jackson films, or they read the Robert E. Howard Conan books, or they do this or they do that, and when they look upon things, let's say, like gamers who draw inspiration from things like Naruto and Bleach.
Yeah, they feel there's a bit of blowback. I've been there.
And that's partially social. It's partially cultural.
It's a social problem. You always hear you're breaking my immersion. And I'm like, seriously, your immersion comes from you, not me, not the game master.
Translation: I'm breaking your narrative.
Yeah.
I know that there are some simulationist gamers who may disagree with this, but I am a narrative immersionist. So stuff about like simulating your simulation is a narrative.
Yeah, to me it's all in my head. So I know what I got going on in my head. That's why I'm like whatever. And
exactly. And there's got to be compromise. Everybody can have what they want, but it's like what you got to go ahead and talk about this. And I think with the one unique thing. With one unique thing and the backgrounds and the icons, what they're doing is that they're saying at the beginning, like, this is what I want my game to be about. For example, Barry, I was really pleased that, like you said at the beginning, I want this to be about hobbits. Because your one unique thing, you said to me that you want it to be about arcane lore, you want it to be about secrets, you want it to be about a guy on the run, but you also want it to be about hobbits in the background. So when you go ahead and you see, I love the backgrounds because the backgrounds let you define.
Right.
Like
I will preface it again. I'll say that as long as everybody's on board and you're good, you're good. And the other thing is, and this is the biggest thing, the reason you can do that in this game is there are no hidden traps. There are no traps.
Yeah.
And we all know dungeons like third and even fourth are real big on the trap gameplay.
Well, it's exception-based gameplay. Exception-based gameplay, I think, is poisonous. I hate it. exception games.
It made them money. I will not fault them for making that money.
Yeah.
It worked. They sold thousands upon thousands of books.
I prefer universal systems, to go ahead and simulate stuff, but as opposed to like spells, which go ahead and break rules. That's fine for Cosmic Encounter and board games. It's
like I said,
always role-playing games. I don't like it at all.
They made the decision. They made that money. So right. I will never fault them for doing what you got to do.
That's right. They still do, because a lot of time, like when people go into like gaming stores, they'll show up to like buy Magic cards, and then it's like, oh, there's this RPGA for this.
Right. And there is a bit of it in the next version, but not too much of it. And I understand why they do it. It's a different kind of thing altogether. But like I said, this game, you don't have to do that. So it's like the whole thing of Magic items. You don't need them, so they're cool.
That's
you
right.
Make them really unique so that they're not part of the formula that you need to survive.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so any further comments before I go ahead and shut off the broadcast?
No, we just got to find a dice roller. We need to find a way to get a dice roller.
Sure. If anybody who's watching this wants to get involved, email me at chris.th.bell.com at gmail.com. Again, that's chris.th.bell@gmail.com. In fact, I will go ahead and include it in the lower third for the next 10 minutes.
All right.
We're gonna
all right, fellas. It's been fun. It's been real. I gotta run. I'll catch y'all later.
All right.
Peace.
Okay, if anybody here who's watching this has any comments, again, go ahead and send me an email at the listed email address below. We definitely have seats open, so come on and join us. Thank you very much. This is Chris Bell, along with John McGowan. We've brought you 13th Age, Crown of the Lich King. Thank you for watching.